I think the best way to describe these kind of matchups is you're like, are you under a lot of threat of like, I don't know, a dive or a Genji or a Tracer or a Winston? I mean, no, right? So then if you're not landing impactful sleeps and anti-nades or even just, I guess, damage shots and squishies, then you're not doing much. Anti, I think we have to understand how pressure works. So if you were to describe pressure, what is pressure, right? Because anti puts out pressure, obviously. So what is pressure?
I understand what pressure is, but how do I define pressure? It's forcing I guess forcing the enemy to make an action or react to something that you do in a sense that they maybe don't want. Doesn't really allow, it kind of prevents them from just doing whatever they want to do.
Sure. It's I think a good way of putting out pressure is exactly what you're saying. Is like they want to do something, but you're not allowing them to do that. And the reason why they're not allowed to do that is, I think that the way I define pressure is that there's always the threat of a kill. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get killed, but there's a threat of a kill. For example, the easiest way of thinking of pressure is Widowmaker hits a headshot. A Widowmaker doesn't hit a headshot, but if you see a Widowmaker scoping in on a location, you're scared to peek it because you're scared that you might die, right? When you get hit by an anti-nade, you understand that that is damage on me and I can't get healed. I might die because of this anti-nade. You kind of see what I'm saying? That's pressure. So as Ana, if we look at anti-nade and its ability to put pressure, if you were the Ana here, okay, where is my paint skill? Hello? Okay, there you go. If I'm Ana here, okay, and this is the enemy team. Let's make them orange because why not? Okay, this is the enemy tank. This is the enemy support. It's back here, you know. This is a DPS over here. Who do you anti?
Okay, so repeat the scenario.
So this is a tank, let's say, tank. This is a support here. Tank here, support's back here, DPS over here. You have anti-nade as Ana. Who do you anti? This is a tough question.
Supports would probably be the ones you'd want to anti to make them go back. So they can't heal their tank.
Ah! Very good. So, here's the thing. You can do one of many things. You can do... I'm going to, notice the color we're going to use here, purple, the tank, so that we can kill the tank, correct?
Yeah.
That's a possibility. We can easily follow up on the tank because he or she is right in front of us. Right, okay.
Right.
But if you anti the backline, what is that backline going to do if they're anti? Now, there's a threat of a kill if they're antied, right? If you hit, let's say, an anti and you hit a body shot on them and maybe your Sojourn throws out her E or you get any sort of follow-up damage, that support might die. But no, what do? They just back behind the cover, right? So then it's like, crap, we can't get a kill on the target, so why would I waste anti-nade on a target that I know I can't kill? Why would you do that? What did you just say?
Sure. Why would I waste it?
Yeah, why would you use it on a target that you can't get a kill?
Just to cause pressure on them to make them back up. Yeah.
Exactly. Because if they back up, how much pressure are they doing on your team? If let's say you anti the Ana and she has to run behind a wall, what is that Ana no longer doing?
She's no longer healing.
And what else is she no longer doing?
Damage.
And what else does she no longer have a threat of doing now? What can she not use when she's behind a wall?
Sleep anti.
Or anti, right? Or even nano, right? So everything in her kit is gone. So then who is the killable target even though you antied these targets, right?
The tank.
The tank. So that's the question. Is antiing a backline better for killing the tank than antiing the tank itself? You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the same question for the DPS. If I anti the DPS, that DPS may or may not die, but then that DPS stops DPSing for a period of time, and we take a 5v4 for about 4 seconds. And maybe they have to put in extra resources and extra attention to help the DPS out. Does that allow me to kill the tank? And here's another question. This is where we get even crazier, right? What if I have like a dive comp and I anti the tank so that the tank has to play slow, but we actually go for the backline, who's now exposed because the tank is doing nothing? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
sure.
this is the reason why this is important is because this is the decision making that goes into using your anti. You have to kind of look at like who's going to be which anti is going to put out the most pressure. Now, all that being said, let's actually look at our VOD here. Let me close down stupid Microsoft Paint here. And let's look at, and you're going to have to look at on a case-by-case basis, too. You're not going to be able to just make a rule. See, people always ask me, who should I use anti-nade on, right? Who should I save sleep dart for? But do you see how that question is inherently flawed?
Yeah.
You don't know. Depends on the situation,
exactly.
right? So, like, right now, you look for an anti-nade. Why are you anti-ing Sigma right now?
What else? I wanted him to back up around the corner.
Right. What else can you see right now?
Nothing.
Nothing. So you're just going to use your anti-nade on what's available. And again, like the way you even described it right there was perfect. It wasn't to get the kill. It was to make him back around the corner. So you create space by using the anti. Brilliant. It doesn't hit, but that's the mentality.
Yeah, it doesn't hit, but but
that's the mentality.
No.
Right.
The intention was correct.
The intention was correct. Now, I will say the intention also has to factor in, will you get an easier anti than 2, 3, 4 seconds? You kind of see what I'm saying? So you chuck your nade now, but why chuck your nade now when you can literally walk up to, can you see my mouse?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you can literally walk up to these boxes immediately and land an easier nade. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
So why nade then? Right? And you can literally walk forward and in 2 seconds and land an easier nade. Because that's a very difficult nade. That's not a mechanical problem. You're making it too hard yourself. And here's an even better thing. So I don't know if you can see it right here, but this is a Cassidy right here. Okay? So we're counting the pixels, but this is a Cassidy right here. How much pressure is an anti-nade on a Cassidy standing on top of his Sigma?
Pretty big.
You see what I'm saying? Right. If a tank and a DPS are both equally aggressive, one of them is squishier than the other one. You kind of see what I'm saying? So one of them is going to have to respect the anti-nade a lot more, which means that person might die, or that person is literally going to run screaming for his life, whereas an anti-Sigma is going to have to be respectful, but maybe he's okay. Best way to describe these kind of matchups is you're like, are you under a lot of threat of, like, I don't know, a dive or a Genji or a Tracer or a Winston? I mean, no, right? So then if you're not landing impactful sleeps and anti-nades, or even just, I guess, damage shots and squishies, then you're not doing much. You kind of see what I'm saying? Like, it's really easy to play games like these and be like, I didn't die like the whole map. Why did we still lose? But you're under, like, what's going to kill you in enemy comp? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing
There's
to
not
kill
much
you.
pressure on me.
Right. So then if you're not landing impactful anti-nade sleeps and shots, then you are going to be performing a lot, doing basically nothing that their Moira's not just doing better, right? Like, imagine if this Moira was a Zenyatta. You know what I'm saying? Holy crap. You would need to be landing anti-nades because that Moira's Discord and just mashing her face across mouse 1 at your general Sigma's direction is just by default going to be doing more than anything you do. So you have to actually find impactful nades. Not just mid, but impactful nades and impactful sleep darts, because I don't like using the word carry, but let's just use the word pressure, right? That's the most pressure that you can put out. Whereas if you're playing versus a dive comp, you being able to sleep, nade, defend yourself by staying alive is going to be immense value. Staying alive is not going to be hard here.